It is my channel's first anniversary, so I wanted to do something special. So why not take something from my community page that you all seem to like and love and make it into a video. But first, a transformation. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trivia Time, the bookish quiz that anyone can play. You can play it with friends, you can play it at home with loved ones or family, you can even play it by yourself. Just put down your scores down below in the comments and see how you head up against the rest of the internet. There are 25 points to be earned throughout several rounds, and scoring is simple indeed. Every correct answer earns you a point. And speaking of rounds, one of those might even be happening right now already. Because in this bonus round, several bookish logos will pop up and appear briefly during the video. 4 logos for 4 bookish brands. And the bonus question is easy. Give me the right bonus bookish brands and you'll earn yourself another 4 points. So get yourself some pen and paper because we are ready to play Trivia Time. The first round is all about general bookish trivia. All manners of questions about all manners of genres. Let's get ready for the first question. Now, sports and romance go well together. At least that is what I'm told. Sport romance books have been all over 2023, and especially this one. This ice skating, ice hockey bestseller novel by Hannah Grace took the romance scene by storm. I'll not ask you to summarize the plot, but I'll ask you for the title. So our first question is, give me the title of this steamy and icy romance novel by Hannah Grace. And why not some more romance? Question number 2. In this 1996 best-selling novel, characters of Mark Darcy and Paul Cleaver got into a bit of a love triangle with the titular character of this novel. Now, question is easy. Can you name me this titular character? So the name of this person of this British romance bestseller. Question number 3, a bit of a sciencey one, but bear with me, this is indeed a literary question. Let that be a hint. Question is simple. At which temperature does a book, so paper, auto-ignite? And question number 4 of this first round is all about the Nobel Prize. This year the Nobel Prize for Literature was awarded to the Norwegian author John Fosse. Perhaps the most significant detail is that John Fosse normally writes in a written version of Norwegian that is only used by 10% of Norwegians. Yes, it can be easily understood by people who use bokmål, which is a system that the majority of Norwegians use, but what is the name of this written version of Norwegian that is only used by a minority of Norwegians? And that's our first round done. 4 points to be had or to be lost. You can check your own answers right here. Which brings us to round number 2, which is all about bookish covers. I'm about to show you 4 covers from absolute bestsellers. Books that have dominated the shelves in the last year and a half or so. Now I have suddenly enhanced these covers, but I'm sure you can still recognize some of them. 4 covers, 4 points, and it is up to you to find their titles. Now cover number 1. I mean, come on, let's be honest, this is an improvement. First book, first title, write them down now. Our second cover. Yes, you might know this one as well. Again, just looking for the title, don't need the author. And then our third cover, and this is going fast, people. Yes, I'm certainly this book does ring a bell. Right? Write them down, and then there's number 4, our last cover already. Again, has dominated the shelves. 4 covers, 4 titles, write them down, because this is the end of round 2. And did you recognize them? Let's check the answers. And that brings us to round number 3, the classics round. Of course, this would not be Trivia Time if it didn't have some classics questions. So, Here we go. Let's start with an easy one, shall we? Which classic novel portrays the history of the French invasion in Russia through the point of view of 5 aristocratic families? So, absolute classic, French invasion in Russia, 5 aristocratic families. I'm sure you get this one. Then question number 2. Which author, who is best known for his children's books, is credited to be the force behind the popularization of words such as gremlin and scrumptious? So I'm looking for an author best known for his children's novels, and he has invented quite some words. Then question number 3. Which classic novel tells the story of a young orphan called Pip and might very well be, at least according to me, one of the first YA novels ever written? An absolute classic about a young boy called Pip. Which one is it? As for our 4th and last question in this classics round, we've got a bit of a celebrity guest question. Let's go all the way over to Ireland and meet my fellow YouTuber, the lovely Aisling.
Hi Bart. So there is one book in particular which was written by an Irish author that is notorious for people starting to read and then not finishing. The novel in question, of course, is Ulysses by James Joyce. Can you tell me on what date Bloomsday falls on every year, which is the same day that this novel was set on in 1904?
Thank you ever so much, Aisling, for that question, and just write it down. We are looking for a date. That's all of our classics questions done. Too easy? Too difficult? Let's see how you did, shall we? Again, 4 points to be had, 4 points to be lost in this classics round. And then we are back with our second general trivia round. Now in 2023, everyone was obsessed by dragons and their riders. In Fourth Wing, author Rebecca Yarros describes the nation of Navarre. Now growing up in this nation, you have only 4 career options, being the normal military, the dragon riders, the healers, but what was the 4th option again? So for our first question, what is the 4th career option in Navarre in Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros? Question number 2. One of the best books I read this year was absolutely Yellowface by Rebecca Kwang. Now in this book, her main character June adopts a rather ambiguous pen name for herself. Do you remember which pen name that was? So, what was the rather ambiguous pen name of main character June in Rebecca Kwang's Yellowface? Number 3. You get a book, you get a book, and you get a book! For over 15 years now, this daytime television book club has recommended enough books grossing over 55 million of copies in sale. A huge success. But remind me, who is the presenter of this daytime talk show again? So we're looking for the presenter of a daytime talk show which has a book club that has grossed over 55 million copies in sale already. Number 4. Henry David Thoreau wrote a book about his life in the woods in Massachusetts. This is an absolute classic of non-fiction, although some of his critics always said that he didn't really go out and live in the woods without all of the luxuries like he says in the book. Now, in which book can we read all about this simple life in a harsh solitude written by Henry David Thoreau? So we are looking for the title of this absolutely classical work of non-fiction. And then for our 5th and last question in this round, we all know about Harry Potter. There's not much I can ask you about Harry and his friends and the schools they went to, because you'll probably know it. But do you know this? Can you tell me the motto of Hogwarts, the school Harry and his friends attend? So we're looking for the motto, and I will take either the Latin version or the English version. Either will earn you that point. So we're looking for the motto of Hogwarts. And there we have it. 5 questions, 5 answers. And if you did well, who knows? Might even have earned 5 points. Now a good book grips you from that first sentence. It is almost as if you were on a literary date and the book needed a great opening line. So here are 4 iconic opening lines for you. First sentences that are so famous they might even surpass the book they were taken from. So the question is simple. From which novels were these sentences taken? Call me Ishmael. The second one. The snow in the mountains was melting and Bunny was dead for several weeks before we became to understand the gravity of our situation. Number 3. I still remember the day my father took me to the cemetery of books for the first time. And number 4. It was a queer, sultry summer. The summer they executed the Rosenbergs. And I didn't know what I was doing in New York. 4 absolutely iconic opening lines from 4 excellent books. Did you recognize them? Then you have noted down these titles. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are our quiz rounds done. And it leaves us with the matter of our bonus round. Were you able to spot these 4 logos that popped up throughout the video? And were you able to identify the bookish brands? If you were, then you will have noted down these 4 names. 4 brands, 4 points to be had, and they will add up to your grand total. Well done and well played. And now I want to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comments how many points did you score. Was it too easy? Was it too difficult? Let me know. I had a blast in making this one, but rest assured, next week we're back to regular bookish content. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment. And if you don't know what to comment, why not comment a birthday cake emoji? Because it's our first anniversary. Thank you for your continuous support. That's it for me for this week. If you need some more bookish recommendations, you can always go here.